I am not hard in the slightest right now.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
That's been our impression of Ian the past couple of days with these hearings going on. You sure about that?
He was not in the room when you discussed what the intro to the show was going to be. So excited for these committee hearings.
It's all coming together, right? Things are happening.
Finally, a good one.
Things are really happening.
The first two before this were not good. And I have some thoughts about the one guy. We'll talk about him later.
Think of how long human life has been on this planet, how long it'll be on when you're gone. And you very well might just be living in the time when we figure it the fuck out.
Yeah, how about that?
It's amazing, right? What are the chances?
You might not get to see a UFO. Dave, you might not be visited by the black-eyed children. But we're gonna fucking hear about alien bodies and UFOs. Legitimate.
But if we can confirm existence, that might be enough for me.
It's a time to be alive.
Welcome to another edition of Necro Overtime. A lot of things going on.
The UAP edition.
The UAP edition.
I think I'm on board with it finally.
Yeah?
For a long time, I'm like, it's always going to be UFO. But I think I'm going to make the transition to say UAP from now on.
UAP meaning?
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
I knew that, but I'm sure there's probably some listeners that didn't know. I wanted to clarify.
As the founder of MUFON, you're entitled to make those decisions, right? Does that mean MUFON is now accepting the UAP?
They should change their whole name.
Change it for them.
Well, in all fairness, he didn't found MUFON, but he took over. He's president of
hostile takeover of MUFON. You own everyone in MUFON currently, right?
So what's going to be MUAP?
Yeah,
MUAP? MUAP. Just
MUAP.
MUAP. Yeah.
it's not that good.
No, it's really not. I'm going to come up with something else.
So I'm sure everybody or most of our listeners heard about this hearing the other day.
I think 1,000 people sent links to us.
Did they?
Yeah.
So the House Oversight Committee had a hearing on UAPs. They had 3 witnesses. This is the first time anything's been testified to like this in front of Congress or anything like this. This was definitely a first.
It's under oath.
Yeah.
This is sworn testimony.
They had Ryan Graves. He's a lieutenant, U.S. Navy, an FA-18 pilot, and currently he's the executive director of Americans for Safe Aerospace. Then they had David Fravor, commander of the USS Nimitz Carrier Strike Group, U.S. Navy. He's also an FA-18 pilot, and he was also Black Aces squadron commander. He's a very credible person. He's probably the most credible UAP witness ever.
Even more so than Betty Hill, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not sure Mike believes you, but I do.
Well, I believe that he is more credible than Betty Hill.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
We'll leave it at that.
And then the last one is the one that I think everybody knows right now, David Grush. He was the star witness for this. He's the whistleblower. National Geospatial Intelligence Agency and National Reconnaissance Office from 2019 to 2021. He was the representative for the NRO to the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force. So that was the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. He was their representative from 2021 to 2022. He was the co-lead for the UAP analysis at the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, and he was also the representative to the task force. He assisted in drafting the National Defense Authorization Act of 2023, which includes provisions for reporting UAPs, including whistleblower protections, which he's now acting on, and exemptions to non-disclosure orders and agreements. He's a super credible guy. It's just, do you believe him or not, I guess, and we'll see where it goes.
That's it. What else is there? I feel like a lot of the potential proof he has is classified and you're not going to see it. At least not now.
No. And I have issue with some of it with him. I wasn't like, if you looked on the live thread on Reddit, people were just like super pumped with him. I wasn't that excited with him because he he wouldn't speak to a lot of the claims that he was making when he did the interview with Newsweek.
He wanted to go to the skiff for everything.
Yeah, he didn't want to say that some of that stuff under oath.
Yeah.
He did say some interesting things under oath, but a lot of it he wouldn't. So I don't view him as a true whistleblower. Like Edward Snowden whistle blew. Like he risked everything to expose that. That's what in my opinion, what I say a true whistleblower is.
Releasing classified information to the public.
Right.
How
Consequences be damned.
Exposing
What you have to show.
Yeah.
how and or why were these men chosen? Like, why were they here? What led to them having to testify?
So David Grush is the whistleblower. David Fravor will talk about the Tic Tac video. That's the one that Tom DeLonge leaked and then got the Navy to admit that was a real video. And then
So these guys came forward and were like, "Hey, I have stuff to say,"
Right.
Or were they subpoenaed and they were like, "All right, well, I guess I got to go."
well, this was
these
organized by the representative from Tennessee organized this. There's a lot of people working together to kind of get some answers on this, which makes it really credible.
It's a bipartisan effort.
Yeah, AOC was on this committee. She had some really interesting questions. One of the big things they talked about was the Tic Tac video, and we've referenced it a bunch when we're talking about these newer UFO things, but we never really dug into it. On November 14th, 2004, the operator of the USS Nimitz told David Fravor that the USS Princeton, who was part of the strike group that Fravor led, had been tracking an unusual object for around the past 2 weeks. The object would appear at 80,000 feet, which is considered space, before descending rapidly toward the sea and stopping at 20,000 feet and just hovering. The way he said that, and during the hearing too, was like, it's like, and if you don't know, that's space. It's like that's space, motherfuckers.
Yeah, right. Which it is.
Yeah. Fravor said that it was a seamless white oval shaped object, which looked like a Tic Tac, and that it was 40 feet long. He said that it was a perfectly clear day, but the water right below the object was churning. At that hearing this past Wednesday, he said that he felt that there was another object underwater making the water churn, and that based off the movements that the Tic Tac was making above the water, because it was kind of like darting back and forth in a pattern, he said that he felt like it was communicating with something under the water. Fravor said that he spiraled down to get closer to the object, and it ascended, mirroring the trajectory of his airplane. And then the object just abruptly disappeared, only to reappear 60 miles away within an instant. It was also jamming his radar, which when he testified to that at the hearing, there were some people in Congress that were pretty concerned about that. Like, how is this thing jamming?
Should be, yeah.
Yeah, like this thing should not be able to jam his radar.
He's like, yeah, well, it did.
What do you want from me? It did.
A second wave of fighters, including pilot Lieutenant Commander Chad Underwood, took off from the Nimitz to investigate. Underwood's plane had a flare camera on it, which is infrared, and he captured the now famous Tic Tac video, the one that Tom DeLonge leaked. So in total, 4 people, 2 pilots and 2 weapons system officers in the back seats of those 2 airplanes, they all witnessed this object for about 5 minutes. They had their eyes on it. There's radar, there's video. So this thing exists. Whatever this Tic Tac was exists.
You have legitimate people telling you that they can't explain it.
Right. And we have video, and the Navy acknowledges it.
And they were blocking the radar.
Yeah, jammed the radar. And they testified to it. There were some questions, and it was asked, could a human survive being in an aircraft that would move from 80,000 to 20,000? And they're like, no, you would die. Nothing can, it doesn't,
Yeah.
our physics doesn't work that way.
But someone's does.
The physics we know.
Right.
Didn't we just discuss something like that? The 80,000 to 20,000, the Michigan UFO story we did on Patreon?
It was similar.
It would shoot.
Shoot, yeah. Like
It wasn't going up and
impossible
down.
distances.
They were going to the side, like one would
Okay.
go 20 miles, then the other 2 would come 20 miles, like in an
I thought
instant.
at one point there was talk of it went up or down at a rate that was pretty incredible,
Oh,
or an altitude that was
Yeah, it
ridiculous.
fluctuated how high it was.
But something like ridiculous amount of speed that it would have done that in.
Well,
Yeah.
we said the comparison was you could fly from New York to California in 2 minutes or something at the rate
Yeah.
of speed it was flying around. So yeah,
Okay.
something that wasn't possible with our physics ability.
Right.
It was brought up a bunch of times during that hearing too that this might not be it is a security issue, but it might be more of a material science issue. They kept using the words material science, that we just don't understand this at all. It's more of an issue for us to intellectually be able to understand what this is.
How can you even do a threat assessment if you don't even you can't even quantify the risk because you don't understand even what you're seeing,
Right.
right?
I hope that David Grush is true with his claims. I hope he's telling the truth, because it's getting all this mainstream attention now. If this guy turns out to be full of shit, it's going to set it back a lot.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good.
Sure. Is there a lot, maybe this is something for the end, so if it is, tell me. Is there a lot of people that are like coming out calling these people liars, saying this is fake?
There's this guy, there's this other organization set up, the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, ARROW. That's headed by this guy named Sean Kirkpatrick. It's a lot to do with NASA and stuff, but the DoD funds that group. That one's like Project Blue Book ramped up. This guy all of a sudden has been like trying to discredit this stuff. He is saying that with his work with NASA that they have never seen anything that defies our physics. But he basically is saying that all of these guys just lied in front of Congress.
There's a video of it.
Yeah, well, he's like a Philip Glass
I was going
type.
to say, he sounds like Philip Glass,
But
except better connected.
well, and Grush testified and said that he talked to Kirkpatrick about alien, like non-human technology. Kirkpatrick saying no, he didn't. Grush refused to talk to him. So one of them is lying.
Yeah.
It's just Kirkpatrick has never been under oath, and Grush has. So
There you go.
yeah,
Tells me what I need to know.
yeah, and I really hope he doesn't, because the drama kind of stuff has already started. I saw a post on Reddit where people are like saying like, I think it's time to finally acknowledge, like, to appreciate Tom DeLonge, and then people are fighting, and like there's like team Tom DeLonge, team other researchers, and it's kind of like that old UFO drama between MUFON and
Now they all want credit for what we might know.
I mean, so are we at a fork in the road here where it could go either way?
What do you mean?
Like if we substantiate some of this stuff, we could really get some answers. But if this Grush guy turns out to be telling even the smallest number of lies, then it's going to go the other way. And like you said, it's going to set us really far back. And the people that might be covering it up are going to get some cover from that and be able to perpetuate the lies they've been telling.
It's probably
That's how I
fair.
kind of look
Like,
at
this
it.
This is a big chance to get some credibility.
Yeah,
right?
it's a big potential turning point.
and and have a really like
Depending on how things go.
told you kind of moment. But to be clear, we have zero reason to not believe these guys, right? To these people.
No, I have no reason to. I have no doubt.
There's
And
no reason to not believe them, at least on the surface of things.
yeah, I have zero doubt in Ryan Graves or David Fravor. I'm holding out on Grush. I thought like when he calls himself a whistleblower, I thought he was going to sit down and
Spill
just
the beans.
and just drop bombs on everybody. But all he kept saying was like, "Well, I can talk about that in a closed setting."
He also doesn't want to go to prison for releasing classified information.
This is true.
in an open hearing, so you can appreciate that.
Yeah.
I agree. We, as much as we want to hear that
Right.
bombshell, this
Yeah.
guy will ruin his life by doing so.
Yeah, maybe he's got a game plan. Well,
Maybe.
it's kind of a wait and see still.
So the things that I took away from the hearing that really interested me, there was one testimony from David Fravor, one clip that was really good, that really was like, oh shit, that probably takes a lot for this guy to admit, as being a 20 plus year military guy, that he can't, that he would lose against something. So I pulled this clip.
It's an ego killer.
We're supposed to be number one, right? Nobody
That's
can beat
right.
us.
USA #1. That's That's what I've heard.
From what you saw that day and what you've seen on video, did you see any source of propulsion from the flying object, including on any potential thermal scans from your aircraft?
No, there's none. There's no IR plume coming out. And Chad, who took the video, went through all the EO, which is black and white TV, and the IR modes, and there's no visible signs of propulsion. It's just sitting in space at 20,000 feet.
In your career, have you ever seen a propulsion system that creates no thermal exhaust?
No.
Can you describe how the aircraft maneuvered?
Abruptly, very determinate. It knew exactly what it was doing. It was aware of our presence, and it had acceleration rates. I mean, it went from 0 to matching our speed in no time at all.
Now, if the fastest plane on Earth was trying to do these maneuvers that you saw, would it be capable of doing that?
No, not even close.
And just to confirm, this object had no wings, correct?
No wings.
Now, was the aircraft that you were flying, was it armed?
No, never felt threatened at all.
If the aircraft was armed, do you believe that your aircraft or any aircraft in possession of the United States could have shot the Tic Tac down?
I'd say no. Just on the performance, it would have just left in a split second.
It looks like that we have a problem here that needs further investigation.
Yes.
In your belief, is this flying Tic Tac? I mean, is it capable of being the product of any other nation on the Earth?
No, like I said earlier, I think it defies current material science and the ability to develop that much propulsion. And I know there's been some physicists have done calculations, which is beyond anything that we have.
Well, either the United States has an adversary here in this world that we don't know, or we really have some serious investigations to do. I really appreciate you being here. Is there anything else about the November 14th, 2004 incident that you think is important for this committee to know that you haven't been asked here today?
No, it's been said it's probably the most credible UFO sighting in history based on all the sensors that were tracking it, and then for us to get visual and to go against the naysayers that it's something on the screen or whatever. I mean, there's 4 sets of human eyeballs. We're all very credible. Of the 6 of us that were involved in the thing, including the video, every one of us is going to do 20 plus years in the military in very responsible positions. So I'd say the world needs to know that. It's not a joke.
Well, thank you very much for your testimony here today for all of you, and I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
I don't know how you get more credible than that. What year was that? 2004?
Yeah.
That's 20 years ago. What is Ryan Graves doing these days?
Oh, that's David Forever.
Or David Forever, sorry.
He's doing defense work, but
Okay.
independent, or not independent, but
Private
sector, yeah. Ryan Graves' testimony on the UAP, he had some really interesting ones, but he had one he talked about was a dark gray cube inside of a clear sphere. It's a quote, "On a clear sunny day in April 2014, 2 FA-18s took off on an air combat training mission off the coast of Virginia. The jets, the part of my Navy fighter squadron, climbed to an altitude of 12,000 and steered towards warning area W72, an exclusive block of airspace 10 miles east of Virginia Beach. All traffic into the training area goes through a single GPS point at a set altitude, almost like a doorway into a massive room where military jets can operate without running into other aircraft. Just at the moment the 2 jets crossed the threshold, one of the pilots saw a dark gray cube inside of a clear sphere, motionless against the wind, fixed directly at the entry point. The jets, only 100 feet apart, zipped past the object on either side. The pilots had come so dangerously close to something that they couldn't identify. They had terminated the training mission immediately and returned to base."
That is terrifying. It has to be if you're a pilot.
Sure.
Heading to a training zone like that.
He said that once they upgraded their radar systems, I can't remember what year he said, but there was a year that their systems were upgraded and there were new advancements in radar technology. And then all of a sudden they started picking them up on radar.
So these are also being picked up on radar, not just pilots seeing
Oh,
them.
yeah. There's radar
So
stuff.
that's more than... Yeah, that's more evidence.
But when you fly past them in 2 FA-18s, just sitting there, a gray cube, kind of acting like a gatekeeper to the practice zone.
And yeah, just sitting there like watching.
going on?
So in situations like that too, like when they fly right past this thing, is it also showing up on radar at the same time? Like like they're seeing this?
Yeah, there's
Like,
like
or are they seeing it ahead of time where they can tell like pilots like, hey, we're seeing something on the radar?
my understanding was that there was radar verification of it, and the pilots, witnessed it. Yeah. Which is crazy to even think about, because you always think of the disc UFO, a flying saucer.
It's a goddamn cube.
Yeah, in a clear sphere.
That just screams dimensional, interdimensional to me, right?
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I picture.
Here you go, cube fun. There you go. Founding fathers right here, cube fun.
Well, and it reminds me of Skinwalker Ranch, because that's the only other time I've ever heard anything like that. Was from the Gorman's original story. They said that there was that clear sphere with something blue in the middle that was flying around. They said it stopped, like out. They could just see it, and they could make out that it was clear, and something was glowing inside of it. So I don't know. It's crazy.
Why can't we see something like this?
A floating cube would,
You're getting
Yes!
blow my mind.
You're getting the information, pals. Remember, be thankful we're in this time.
See it.
This one is fucking creepy, and I hope that we get some more information on this one. Ryan Graves testified that he has military witnesses and documentation to share with Congress, and he said it would have to be after the hearing of an incident involving Boeing and a 100-yard by 100-yard red cube UAP hovering over Vandenberg Air Force Base. The dimensions of a football field, just glowing red cube hovering there for a minute. He said it was there for a minute, and then it just within an instant was gone. And then later that evening it came back and then just took off again real quick. AOC asked Graves if he could provide pictures or like a sketch of these gray and red UAPs, and he said he could meet up with her afterwards and provide her some of that stuff.
Good for you, AOC. See what you got.
Speaking of New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, correct?
Correct.
Okay, just wanted to clear that up.
Thank you.
Not everyone knows who AOC is.
Thank you for providing clarity. You're exactly right.
Some other notes I made, there was a lot of talk of overclassification. There was an example brought up of a civilian iPhone video that was classified, and
Really?
they're like, why is that classified? Like, that's weird. Stuff like
It's
that.
on the guy's iCloud account.
Government's like, no, this is ours now.
A lot of overclassifying of things regarding UFOs.
Do you think the guy who, they took his phone, he's like, hey, Safari search history classified too, please. I just give you my phone, no questions asked, but just make it all classified. It's like Casey Anthony's thick, juicy dumper, stuff like that.
Thick, juicy
not that I would Google that, but other people probably will. Sickos.
That's in my search history. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sickos out there would probably search that.
I made a couple notes for Grush's testimony. A lot of it was that we'll have to talk after the meeting. Give him benefit of the doubt. I don't think I would want to go to prison either. I was just excited. I thought we were getting like a Snowden type whistleblower.
Sure.
Was this your biggest case ever of UFO blue balls?
No, this was good. The
okay.
Fucking Sean Kirkpatrick guy from Arrow, his was the last hearing he led, and it was just...
We never covered that one because there was nothing.
No,
there,
it was boring as shit.
What was the retraction one that we did?
That was just like some
show.
documents that were
It was just
released.
the release.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
We did kind of kick around the idea of doing an overtime show on the UAPs from a couple months ago that were getting shot down. There was like the Chinese spy balloon, but then there were some other ones, and there was like word coming out of they looked really odd. And so Grush testified that he saw footage of one of those objects being shot down a couple months ago, and he said it was, quote, otherworldly, but he saw no reason that the public shouldn't be able to see the video as long as some of the data was censored out of it.
This is one of the so-called weather balloons that was floating over the continental U.S.
Right. There was talk, if I remember correctly, one of the a witness or somebody talked about it being like a pyramid-shaped object.
Pyramid.
Yeah. But according to him, it was otherworldly. But but there was no reason that why people shouldn't be able to see it.
I want to see it.
He said that U.S. government and contractors have craft and non-human biologics. She never said bodies specifically, just biologics. So what does that mean?
I'm not exactly sure.
There's always been
Sounds
this.
to me like a made up word. The fuck is a biology, anyways? Fucking phony science.
Biologics? I never heard that word.
Fuck that. Also, fuck math while we're at it. Stupid numbers.
There's always been this theory out there. It's an obscure theory, but that the UFO or UAP is a biological entity in and of itself somehow.
So it's not an aircraft. It's alive.
To some degree or something. It makes me think of maybe it's something like that. Maybe it's just a biological material.
That fits in, yeah.
It might not.
It might be a plant.
Right.
A plant would be a biologic.
Because
Maybe it's just his wiener, the alien wieners got cut off in the crash or something. It's
still-
just laying there.
Maybe it's still
It's a
moving.
biologic.
What if it's still growing? Something to think about.
Maybe there's
Something went inside Barney Hill.
he got probed.
Poor man.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
I feel like that was me when we first started this whole podcast about every alien and
You sure about that?
Right. Didn't help that we started with the hills, which we'll revisit at some point, but I still don't know. I think that'll be the one Ian and I have our biggest disagreement on.
I'm reading a book right now by Dr. J. Allen Hynek for a Sunday one coming up soon. But this kind of theory of like the craft itself being some type of a biological entity comes up a bit because one of the people that saw a UFO in that story thought to themselves, like, I really want this thing to come back. Like, I don't want it to float away. And it turned and came back, suggesting some type
Mind
of
reading.
something.
Oh.
Something weird. He said that he testified that he had interviewed people who had seen the non-human biologics. So that's what his job was, to go talk to these people and kind of record their information. He's like, oh, wait, I'm going to whistle blow on this.
What was the mission statement, I guess, from the org he was working for? Just to collect data? And he's like, all right, I got all this data, and I think everyone needs to hear about it.
Why do you ask that? Just to know,
I'm
like,
just
what,
curious
where
what
it's
he
coming
was,
from?
yeah, like what his mission was out there doing all this. And one day he's like, I
They got
need
to
to
know.
blow the whistle here. Like, I don't feel any of this stuff I'm collecting is ever going to see the light of day. I really need to make people aware of it, I guess.
He said that there was a ton of white-collar crime going on along with this. That's part of what he's blowing the whistle on, that there's, like, how some of this stuff is being funded, and that a lot of it has to do with defense contractors like Lockheed Martin, those type of groups
All right.
are in on it. And there's a lot of misappropriating of funds going on. Like when there's like a couple $1 billion missing and during an audit, it goes to things like this, is what he's claiming.
I hope we get to the bottom of this.
He said that there's satellite imagery of crashes, different tests, retrieval of those crashes, those things exist. So
Mike needs to know.
Guess I'm the one who needs
He's not even going to sleep tonight, not knowing.
he testified that people have been injured working on UAP reverse engineering those type of programs. Like Bob Lazar talked about. Bob Lazar is kind of doing like a premature victory lap, but like see, I told you motherfuckers, we were doing this for a long time.
Probably got blown up.
When asked about communication with non-human intelligence, Grush said that he could only talk about it in a classified setting. That was the only time that got brought up. So I guess maybe it's something, he didn't just immediately shut it down. I don't know. He said that he knows current individuals involved in reverse engineering programs that are willing to testify in a classified setting behind closed doors if certain immunities and assurances are met.
All right, now we're getting somewhere. Who's going to issue that immunity? Do they want this information even getting out? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
If they wanted it to get out, They would have told us a long
I
time
think
ago.
if they can bring back President Martin Van Buren, he will issue immunity.
Really? He's up for that?
I would like to start that rumor.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
I will start that rumor about our 8th president.
Okay, I'll believe it.
He gets a bad rap most, than any of our other front. So let's give him this one.
He's on the top of a lot of worst president lists.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Sorry.
Nothing.
Vanny, I'm trying to help you out.
You're trying to whitewash his presidency.
Look, if he can expose the UFOs and the alien phenomenon, does that not bump him up to at least a top 20 president?
Well, not top 20. Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of shitty presidents. He might still be top 20 with that.
You sure about that?
Confident.
All three of the witnesses agreed that it's possible that UAP could be probing our capabilities and nuclear assets, testing for vulnerabilities in our systems, and cannot be defended against.
Those 4 words are terrifying. Cannot be defended against. Cannot be defended against.
We fucked.
Like, that technology is so superior. We would just be like,
That's
okay.
We would be dead before we even knew we were attacked.
Right.
like based on this new stuff, and then I don't know, some of the water stuff we've been talking about recently, and then some other stuff like I read online. I really think that maybe they really are in the water and alongside us, and they just do view us as animals. Like, they don't give a fuck what we're doing. Even if they're interdimensional, I don't think they care about us at all, truthfully.
They're looking for some sort of natural resources.
Something.
From our world.
I don't think that
Why would they care about us? We can't harm them. We can't do anything to them.
Even animals in the rainforest now know that humans are a threat by cutting down their environment and the trees.
Yeah.
We are so dumb, we don't even realize that the threat is right there. That's kind of what it is. They're tearing down the rainforest, and we're just did you watch The Bachelor this weekend? It was fucking good. We're so aloof.
That's exactly right.
Nobody cares about this.
It might be in plain sight right now. We're just derp, derp, derp.
Nobody cares about this hearing.
Nobody cares about this. Nope.
50 years ago, people would have cared about that hearing.
You know what? That's a very good point.
I think it would be all over the place 50 years
I
ago.
think maybe even 20 years ago.
Yeah. Nobody cares.
Yeah, what's wrong with us these days? People just
It's not the worst thing in the world if they're going to take us all out, right? I get it. I get it if I'm them.
I mean,
They're look at these guys. What's the old gif? UFOs roll up their windows when they go past Earth. Lock their doors.
yeah.
I was getting tattooed yesterday by our friend Sarah. We were talking about this hearing and talking about just for real how people don't care about it at all.
It's just the news cycle in
Just a
general.
non-issue.
Less than 24 hours.
She sent me a meme on Instagram that it was exactly that. It was oh, did you hear aliens are real? Something like that. I was like, I got a lot going on in my life right now. Don't fucking talk to me about shit.
Like Mike said, who's the Bachelor gonna pick?
Yeah, right.
A lot of other interesting comments I saw on Baller Alert. They had a post about it, and the comment section there was pretty interesting. A lot of people, the majority of it was, okay, we already know aliens exist. I don't care.
I almost feel like at this point, it is naive to deny the existence of other life forms and entering our atmosphere and having contact with humans.
I think so.
It's almost naive at this point to deny that.
Sure it is. You get your head up your ass.
Whether it be UFOs or just life out there. I mean, I don't know, but it's naive to just deny that it just doesn't exist.
There's going to be a reckoning at some point.
Yeah, I think, for real, I think there really is something to why all of a sudden when we figured out how to create a nuclear bomb, that there was this big ramp up in UFO sightings. I think there is something to that. I think they maybe were like, oh wait,
That's trigger point, right?
yeah,
there.
they got a little smarter than we thought they
Let's
would
go
get.
pull some resources off that planet before they blow themselves up.
Because as soon as that happened, that's when you get all the modern day UFO sightings.
It's an interesting point. Yeah,
They're always around nuclear. There's stories of them being able to disarm nuclear weapons, hovering over bases and things.
that might have been their alert.
Could it be argued, though, that since the development of nuclear weapons, we've also just been paying more attention to what's up in the air and in the sky, and that they've always been there? We've just never really paid attention because it's like, oh, that's not the threat. We're not worried about the skies.
There were a couple reports before them, but
I mean, there
not
was some.
like
We've
the
discussed some, I
deluge
think.
like we see now with all the anal probing and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they're looking for uranium, like in people's buttholes.
Maybe that's what
Take
you
that
got-
uranium
you
away
guys
from
want
us, so we
that
can't make any more
fucking
bombs.
Alien experience so bad, just go in the backyard and pull your pants down and expose your butthole to the moon. See what happens. See where the night takes you.
So good information. I think there's a lot more to come. I don't know how much of that information we're going to see.
I feel like I don't really like. I want more information, obviously, but I feel like
Do you not wanna
David
know?
Fravor confirms it for me. Like that's the confirmation I needed.
Yeah, yeah.
That guy testifying and that video being acknowledged by everybody. Like what else is it?
Unless you got Polaroids of people. Like we've seen the video, we've heard the testimony. Yeah. it's conclusive.
Right, if somebody on this planet can't create it, then what is it?
Yeah, sure.
It might not be grays either. It could. Who knows what it could be?
Sure.
It could be a fucking biological drone from somewhere else.
Yeah. With a death spray just to kill everyone on Earth so they can come take our water more easily.
It's cool. I don't know where it goes from
It's
there.
super cool. I hope we get a lot more information post haste.
Like I just said, a spray so they can kill us all and take our water. That's super cool.
Well, hopefully they listen to podcasts too.
Yeah.
They can be like, "Hey, those guys are all right."
Hey, pick us up. Take us back to your planet. We'll help you rape the Earth. We don't give a fuck. Come with you. You can have all the water.
Yeah, I'd turn. I'd
don't
do
care.
a heel turn on this planet.
Oh, I would turn in a second.
Yeah.
Like these people are so great on Earth.
Yeah, fuck them. Let's go. All right, good stuff. A whole overtime show for one topic. That's a first for us.
Yeah.
A lot going on in the world.
Maybe our longest overtime show.
Maybe so. Can't wait to hear more.
There's a lot to get into.
I'll actually post it in the link or in the show notes for this. Somebody on YouTube, they did a supercut of each of the witnesses. So and like cut out all the bullshit in between. David Grush's, I will give him that. When I rewatched that again, when it was just his testimony, it sounded a lot more compelling than when you watch it with everything else. With everything else, I felt like I focused on, oh, he won't talk about this. He won't talk about it. But when it's just that supercut it's pretty good. When it's just him, it's interesting.
Are there any other hearings set? Is there any follow-up scheduled?
Not yet.
No.
But I don't think it's the end of it for sure. Because that guy from Arrow, that Sean Patrick guy, was not happy. He put out a statement defending himself and everything else. So I think there's some
going to
government
war.
drama going on there with that.
It almost, seems like if they keep this going, they're gonna all the guys and men or women who are gonna like start testifying, maybe gonna start like pushing each other a little more, dipping their toes a little further, until at some point someone says something that just fucking busts this all open.
We can hope.
Kind of like a dipping a toe in, like, okay, they got away with that. Next time, there's gonna be somebody else who comes in and was like, let me push it a little further. I'll go a little further.
Let me release this picture of me with alien cock in my mouth. Proof positive.
This is not Photoshop. This is not AI. This is not my fetish at all.
This is an alien dick in my mouth.
This is forced
Here's your
alien
proof.
dick in my mouth. I think he put a halcyon in my drink, and
I decline the anal probe, and this is what I got. I'm filleting a gray.
You know, it's crazy too, watching that testimony. David Forever, they asked him a question like how did he was approached for this stuff and whatever, like who he works with, and hearing him bring up Tom DeLonge in a like in testimony.
That's great.
It's wild. Yeah, Tom DeLonge's to thank for all this. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Good for him.
You're Team Tom and all this. On that Reddit page, you're out there supporting Tom.
Yeah.
How can you not?
Because when he was on Rogan talking about all this stuff, everybody thought he was fucking crazy, me included.
Yeah,
like, what is Tom DeLonge talking about? Like, that's crazy.
Tom DeLonge?
Yeah. Like, dude, you are not out here meeting with government, like ex-Obama defense people and all this shit. Sure enough, he is.
Actually, I am, bitch.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Anything else? Good.
Hopefully more to come.
All right. Bye.